Hey everyone, with the update I talked about yesterday, they also announced a new Deluxe Forever Equip Summon that's coming with it, and it's going to start on the 4th of July and end on the 8th of August. I'll get into what the equips I think are going to be the best from all of the equip types though. A quick little tip though, since true weapons are always available, I'd suggest against going for any of them and going for the rare seasonal equips that only come out at certain parts of the year. Unless, of course, you have like 10 or less days, in which case go for it. But generally speaking, the seasonal equips are going to be better since they're harder to get. But for the first category, the physical equips, I'll list the good equips and a little bit why they're good. The first is going to be Luon's Wabi Sabi Jams. They lower physical resist by 40% or 60% if the user is a god unit. Really good as a physical resist debuff. Bushido Master is also pretty good for the 120% damage buff for dark units. Duke the Legendary is also pretty solid for breaking. Richelieu Bikini is good for increasing damage to the enemy, but not super insane compared to some of those other equips I was talking about. Moving on to magic equips. Luon Shady Canopy is good since it'll give 60% dark resist down, which is really solid, especially for dark nuking. Victor's Catsuit is also pretty good since it gives a good amount of arch gen, with a pretty strong magic damage buff. Emmy's Smooth Streamline is pretty good as well for its 60% magic resist debuff. While not as good as the other, Urvira's Sun Drenched Bikini is a good nuke item, or even sustain item since it has a solid crit damage buff with a fairly short CT. As for the defense slots, there are a lot less here than before, but Iris's Roly Frill Bikini is really solid for water and fire resist. Little Red Riding Mira is probably the most sought after since its niche is very rare. It provides fire resist as well as burn resist, which is a very strong equip, especially on harder pieces of content that need this niche quite a bit. 100% worth a pickup if you come across it. Sistina's Wavy Frill is kind of similar to Little Red Riding Mira, but it's magic resist and evades freezing. Not terrible, although I don't use it nearly as often as Little Red Riding Mira. Reyes' Sunny Aloha shirt is also fairly solid as a light or dark resist item. Warm Santa Miranda has a decent magic resist for a long duration, and a nice little AoE magic damage buff as well. Red-Nosed Roy Doll is fairly solid for AoE water resist too. Lots of good defense equips here, so be sure to keep a lookout for them. For the heal equips, this group has the least items, but the best item here is probably going to be Fina's Devil Wings. It has a strong status increase as well as passive heal. One of the best heal items in the game, solid for anything really. 100% worth a pickup if you don't have it. There aren't really any other good heal equips here though. Maybe Aristella's Swimsuit for its huge 50% heal, although it's fairly niche and has a long CT, so it isn't really going to be used too much. Mary Lee Style has a fairly strong heal as well, and it could actually be pretty good sustain wise, but it's not nearly as much of a must-have as Fina's Devil Wings is. The final group are the support equips. Santa Fendal is pretty strong as a solo art gen equip with a fairly short CT too. Lisa's Pearly One Piece is good for arch gen and a minor attack buff for light and dark units. Fenn's Beach Sunglasses is not only a good solo arch gen equip, but it provides arts to the entire team after its initial burst of arch gen for the target. Probably the best equip on the Forever Summon though, Lisa's Smart Skirt. It has a good amount of arts and a short CT, and its strongest part, the AoE stat increase. That effect alone acts as a heal and makes or breaks lots of comps in the endgame, especially when it's nearly the only source of healing on harder stages. It's a must-have for anyone without it. Santa Lisa Doll is fairly good with a good amount of arts and a strong team-wide magic damage buff. Ford's Gothic Straps is another strong one as well. A good amount of arts with a strong 40% damage buff for humans for an insanely long 12 seconds. This is my personal target for the Forever Summons. Heart's Waistline Headline is a pretty good solo art gen item with a nice magic damage buff, but not insanely OP. Pretty good though. Joyful Santa Heart is strong for an initial burst of arts for the target, and then an AoE burst of art gen. Wouldn't be bad as a pickup. That's all there is for the equips. Those don't include all of the good true weapons, but like I said before, since true weapons are always available, it's better to get something limited. Although if you are near the end of the Forever Summons and you don't think you'll get anything, you can of course settle for a true weapon if you happen to get one. If you did enjoy the guide, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Be sure to let me know if there are any other good equips I missed out on describing, and let me know which equips you're going to be aiming for. Don't hesitate to ask me if an equip you got is worth it or not. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.